Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the conversation. I am your host, Yolanda Trotman, and I am so excited about tonight's show. When I tell you that we talk about it, this show is going to be for everyone, for anyone who has ever faced a difficult decision, a leap of faith, entrepreneurship, all of that, everything in between. We are going to talk about that, and we have, quite frankly, one of the perfect guests to be able to address this particular issue. Before we get started, of course, if you have not already done so, make sure that you join us. A few ways. First, obviously, go to the YouTube page. Make sure that you subscribe to Square Media Network. If you haven't done so already, go to the Facebook page, which is The Conversation with Yolanda Trotman, and like us there. And of course, on Instagram, follow us at The Conversation_pod show. So my guest tonight, let me tell you something. Our story, just even how we met.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that God puts people into your life for reasons and seasons. Mm-hmm. And the reason I think that we connected is so much bigger than I think we could have ever, imagined
100%,
initially.
100%.
And it's so interesting that we have also both gone through a season of shift and what that means. So we'll get into all that. But our guest tonight is none other than the Ohavia Phillips. If you will.
Yes.
Diva, talk show hostess, just overall dope woman. And like I said, we are going to to take a deep dive into who you are, but we really want you all to chime in tonight because we have an opportunity to really talk about some of the things that you all have faced individually. So we're going to be keeping up with the Facebook comments. Yes. Obviously, if you have questions, make sure that you chime in. Obviously, say hello to Ohavia because we are live from both the conversation page as well as, of course, the YouTube page and, of course, as well as from our personal pages. So. Yes. Let's just jump in.
Let's do it.
So when I came up with this particular topic, what I wanted to talk about was just life in general with you, because anyone that knows you personally or maybe following you on Instagram has seen so many things that are happening just around your whole life experience. Yes. But this particular show is important to me because one of the first things that I think is very telling about your story, and this is probably true for anyone, but I noticed with you is that it centers around a major leap of faith.
Yes.
And even when I was on the show here, when Steve first interviewed me on the project, we talked about that. And I didn't even realize how much it was more so about leaps and these giant decisions that didn't seem like a big deal at the time until he started asking me questions. It was like, my goodness, like it's one giant leap of faith after the other. Yeah. So what I want to talk to you tonight is not just your story, but how it can connect with other people who are and may be afraid to make that leap.
Right.
And then what that means when you're dealing with the downs and ups, not ups and downs, I say downs and ups, as well as some things that you can do to help you get through that emotional process. Because I always say if the leap doesn't scare the hell out of you, it's probably not the right leap.
It's not the leap. Yep.
So the topic is life and leaps, but it's also about knowing and doing. Yeah. Like knowing when and actually doing what you need to do in order to make it happen. Because oftentimes we know, but we don't do. Yes. Or sometimes we do without thinking about it. Right. And we don't take the time to make it plain. Right. Or to make 100%. The vision plain. So who is Ohavia Phillips? So Ohavia Phillips, if you're not following her, definitely do so at Ohavia Phillips. Yes. On and that's the Instagram handle and the Twitter handle.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, because I do that too.
Yes, all of the above. So let's talk about how we first met before we talk about who you are at your core. So
absolutely.
You want to tell a story, or you need to tell my version of the story?
Okay, so help me piece it together. So I was a little baby at at Spectrum News, right? Then Time Warner Cable Spectrum, we was going through a transition. Right. And Christina, yes, my other big sister, Christina Watkins. Hey, Christina. She was interviewing you about, was it I Speak Now? Or what was it at the time? I Speak Now. Yes. And so I remember after y'all interview, Christina comes out and she's like, y'all should get connected. And so Christina came out and then Yolanda came out, and it was just like, it just felt so natural. It felt so real. Right. And then the rest, honestly, was just history after that.
Right. And I think if I remember correctly, I reached out to you because Christina left us shortly thereafter. Yes. And I was looking to do a story on I Speak Now. Yes. and she was the go-to person, but it ended up being Kirsten.
Yeah.
That ended up doing the story, and you had connected us that way. And I remember at some point you had told me, and I don't remember if it was then or later, you had said, well, I'll connect you with, some of the reporters, but quiet as kept.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about leaving, and I was a little devastated because I'm like, well, who do we have now?
Actually, that is exactly what happened. I was like, I don't know who, but I'm on my way out.
Right.
But we're gonna find somebody for you. It was like, well, what? I was like, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
And did. And I remember you at some point were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
No.
I was like, what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
Like, let's if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it.
Yep.
And so here we are now with everything that's happened that we'll get to. But let's go back to Lil Ohavia. So who named you? Your mama or your dad?
Okay, so y'all, my name comes from my mom.
Okay.
So the story goes is, so my mom is a registered nurse. And so her first patient's daughter's name was Ohavia.
Okay.
And so what's crazy is I remember her telling me the meaning when I was young, but I probably forgot. And literally, I was in a mall buying a flat iron, and a woman said, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Ohavia." And she freaked out. She was like, "Ohavia?" What? I was like, "Wait, why? What does it mean?" So I learned at Concord Mills Mall buying a flat iron that Ohavia, aheva, means to love. So my mom knew what she was doing, because to know Ohavia is to know, listen, I love life. I love everything. I get excited about things. And so my mama named me, and literally the rest was history.
Okay. So this is Lil Ohavia. Look at Lil Ohavia. Let's look at Lil Ohavia.
You know what I'm saying? Look, the cashmere popping quilted sleeves.
We got a little pink and blue action. Let's just start there.
Yes.
Let's start
pink
there.
And blue.
And not only that, are you okay in
yes.
this picture?
So the story goes, my mom told me I was taking a nap.
Okay.
And the photographer came to the house, and so
you were napping.
While I was napping, he
That's
should have known
rude.
better, right?
That's rude.
So I was sleeping. They had to wake me up. So my mom took some water and was just like doing like that to me.
Is that why I look like you've been crying?
It's not crying. It's yes, because my poor face, I probably was like. But yeah, that's what happened. That's the story that I was told. She was just trying to wake me up because the guy had, he came when I was like sleeping. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah.
And so then at that point you why'd you pick this picture?
Okay, because this is my favorite picture of myself.
Okay.
Literally, like, amongst all the infant photos, I was going back and forth with this one and another one with me in a stroller. But I was like, this because it means a lot to my mom, so it means a lot to me. And I thought it was cute.
And look at all that hair.
And look at all that hair.
Yes, honey.
You know what I'm saying? I have that now, but I bought it. But also,
girl.
But also just like the outfit, I mean, it just has a lot of meaning, because my mom loved it. This is the home I grew up in Brooklyn, so it has a ton of meaning to it. So that's why I was like, you know what, let's go with this one. I want to be intentional, starting where it started.
Absolutely. Next question, of course, where are you from?
Yes, so I am your favorite from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, BK.
And I am a Brooklyn girl through and through. I've lived in Canarsie, Crown Heights, East New York. Oh yeah.
Oh, now all of a sudden there's an accent.
New York. You can't say New York. You gotta say New York.
York.
I gotta do it for the home team.
Okay,
New York.
right.
But yes, I am Brooklyn girl through and through. So
okay, and then how did you stay in Brooklyn through high school?
No, so we moved to Charlotte when I was 13, because I remember going to Sedgefield Middle. Yeah, so 7th grade year. So moved from New York to Charlotte when I turned 13, just in time for Sedgefield. And school had already started, so we just came in like, it was September, I want to say. And I remember thinking, ooh, this is not New York.
Right.
We are not in New York. It was different, but it was what I needed.
So we're going to get back to the middle school age years first, but let's step back to this picture. I have so many questions.
Yes.
So what is this? Looks like Easter. Is this an
yes?
Easter basket?
So I was a flower girl. I was a flower girl, and
how did I get Easter basket from? Oh,
I could see that though. No.
Because it's white. And, okay.
Yeah, no, I was a flower girl. My aunt's wedding. You know, the baby breaths and the and the Afro puff there. Yes, dress popping. So the reason why I picked this one was because it was my aunt's wedding. It has more meaning to me.
Right.
And I remember, honestly, I feel like that's when all the camera stuff, extra stuff started for me. Like that, walking down the aisle and throwing the flowers was like, this is my big moment. I was like, you a flower girl. But I was like, no, y'all, I'm going to be the best flower girl. And I threw those roses. I ran out halfway, through, but I faked through. So I was just doing this.
Okay.
No.
So even when you ran out.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, "Oh, she doesn't have any more."
So then you just improvise as how old were you in this picture?
5, maybe 5.
Okay.
4 or 5. I can't remember. Yeah, I want to say 5. But that's when I learned improvisation. Running out of pedals. I said, "Y'all gonna get this flower girl today."
Okay. And so after that, that you said that is this where you think the spark was lit?
Yes, for sure. Because I remember, I don't know why I was so nervous. To this day, I don't know. Like, we was in the limo and I was nervous, and then we got to the church and I was nervous, and then I think it was like, this is my moment, mine. And I was like, it just was like, all right, here we go. And I remember and then he was like, go, Havy, walk. And I was just like, dun, 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 dun. And I was throwing them pedals. They was like, oh, wow. Then I had the nerve to run out of pedals. And you know what I did? Finesse the rest. Just was like.
Just kept going.
With the hands, so extra.
Right.
I was extra.
A little bit. Okay. And so you come to Charlotte.
Yes.
And how much of it is a culture shock? Because that's obviously preteen years. There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ask you your age yet.
Yeah.
But at 13, and I'm going to say the early 2000s or so. Okay. So what's going on then as far as making an adjustment here?
I'm not going to lie. I was like, what did my mom do? Like, so I think the school system was different. So it was major transition. So it was from private school to, public school. That was one. And then 2 is like, these aren't my friends. Like, I don't know. So it's like starting all over again. So that first week I was like, yeah, this is a joke. This is a hoax. Like, we could go back home. I'll learn my lesson. Right. But it was like, no, this is where we are right now. And I was like, okay, go make the best out of it. So it was a really tough transition. My stuff got stolen. Like, first week of school, I had like a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff stolen out my locker.
You didn't know? You can't do that.
I did. What?
You can't.
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know. Like, I had stuff in my locker. I came back from lunch and all the Hello Kitty was gone. I said, oh no. So then there was that. And then like just learning like how to speak up in class. Cause all these things, the culture was different in like a private school. A lot of that stuff was like done for us. And it was just different. So like there was like a independence that was coming of me that I didn't know. I didn't know where to start. My mom was super supportive in that time, but I was just like, this is like, whoa, this transition is definitely different.
Right.
And also my accent was something at the time because it was much thicker then. And it was just like skin tone was a thing at the time. And I didn't even know that was a thing. So,
Really?
I was picked on for being chocolate.
Really?
And so I was like, because I've never.
But how is it really as opposed to being up north? It was that big of a difference?
That has never happened to me back home. So when I moved out here, I was like, what? Because I never noticed it until we moved to the South. And I'm like, what's that about? What are those nicknames about? What's that about? And so, like, I feel like it was really a fight from middle school for who Ohavia was, what that would look like. And so that's when I started getting into dance and acting and, like, doing, like, the school announcements and all those, all the cool stuff. But it was a transition.
And what do you think was the hardest lesson then at that point? Now, you can either look at that from the middle school perspective or high school perspective before we move on to the next.
Yeah, 100%. The toughest lesson that I learned is no matter what, still stay sweet. Still stay yourself, still stay positive. And it's so funny because that same lesson translated to like now. It's like, it's a fight for Ohavia at the core. Stay who you are. If you're a lover of people, be that. If you're a lover of all things life and excitement, you got to be that. Even when they bring things to you that are not yours, right? You still got to be that and hold on to that. So still, it's always a fight, but like, I'm not putting my dukes down. So
how did you deal with, because I want to stay here for just a second. Yes. So when you were first dealing with the issue of being picked on, called names.
Yeah.
What's the first name you remember being called? Or maybe the one that actually stuck with you?
I was called Darky.
By other black kids?
Yes.
How ironic is that? Now, the school that you came from in New York, was it mixed? Was it mixed racially?
Spanish, white, black, yeah. It was very, very diverse.
And was the demographic of Sedgefield mostly black at that time? Okay. And so the first time you heard that, how did you react?
So, to be honest, I didn't know how to react. I remember holding on to it and not saying nothing, and then I'm like, well, what's that about? And so, like, as days went on and I started, like, going to class more, and then they made it a thing, I was like, what is this? And then it started to eat at me, like,
wow.
What's that about being dark? Like, because I always love myself. So I was real confused. Like, where are all these things coming from? And what makes me different from her, me different from him sitting beside? And it it was a very confusing time. I didn't know. And then it turned into like trying to do things to look or like to put on something different. So changing the way I spoke, just trying to like conform so I could be comfortable.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I am not doing that. So then that bone kind of got built in me too. It's like, I'm not about to like conform to make them comfortable. That makes no sense.
And did the name stop?
It stopped when I did my first talent show. Okay. Legit. Yep. It stopped when I did my first talent show. Went out there, I danced to Sierra. And then everybody was like, oh my God, we love her. And like, it kind of just died down.
Okay. So you had to basically prove your blackness, it sounds like.
Which is, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you did which Sierra song?
You know, that's was it like a boy? I think no, it wasn't like a boy.
Fast, you can't do that in the middle school. It's like, wait a minute.
No, here we go. I remember.
Okay.
So the Sierra song, it was actually any funny song. That was the first one because I did Sierra both times. So it was that old song from Sierra, and then the other one was with a Chameleonaire. Get up. It was in Step Up because Step Up was
okay.
Yeah.
You can. Do
yeah,
that.
it wasn't
okay.
like a boy. Like a boy was later.
Okay. Oh,
it wasn't like a boy.
Wait, we'll come to that. All right. And so from Sedgefield Middle, where'd you end up going to high school?
Yes, I went to Myers Park High School.
Okay.
Hey, Mustangs. I loved Myers Park.
Okay.
That's my pride and joy.
And so from there, now is this picture high school? Oh. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Now is this high school?
This is high school. Actually, high school graduation.
Okay. Very good. And so talk to us about high school, Ohavia.
Oh my goodness.
Are you still just over here off the chain?
So high school Ohavia, I was sure of myself. We was ready to go. I was in debate. I was in dance. I was in everything because I remember my mom like dropping me off and not picking me up till like 5. And like we had one van and my pops worked that night. And sometimes he'll come, sometimes he really would. Most of the times it was mom. And like I just remember being involved in so much. But this is a really good picture. It was graduation. And I was just on 10. I was on 10. But Myers Park was amazing to me.
Now, are you only child or do you have siblings?
No, I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay. And so where are your siblings?
Yes, so I'm the oldest. Kia's 24, and the 3 boys are 21, 15, and 13.
And are they here locally?
Yes, they're with us.
Okay. And so being the oldest, now, obviously, your siblings look up to you.
Yeah.
Right. How would you describe your relationship with them now some as adults, some still as teenagers?
Okay, so my siblings are my best friends. Literally, we'll beef and then like 5 minutes later, we're good, right? Cool. You know, we hug it out. Literally, they are my inspiration. So whenever I do anything, I'm like, I think about them before I like touch a mic, I pray and I think about them, like I take them everywhere I go. I love my siblings. We're best friends.
Okay, so you probably can't answer. Is there a favorite, or are you just gonna plead the fifth on that?
They all watching, so I plead the fifth.
Okay, no problem, no problem. We know your rights.
I don't want to get jumped when I go home.
Yeah, and I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want to carry that with me. Okay, so where'd you end up going to college?
Okay, so I went to CPCC.
Okay,
and I was a part of the Passport program.
What is that?
Okay, so at the time, Passport program was a transfer program for students who wanted to go from a 2-year to a 4-year. Okay, made like amazing connections. Was able to like get scholarships and stuff. It was really really good for me, and also because like I didn't really know what I wanted to do in college. I didn't know what my major would be. I was supposed to be an English teacher, odd enough. So like went to CP.
Now wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's just pause there for a second. So you are doing talent shows, debate, which of course I have to, because that was my thing.
Debate was my baby.
All of that. What was your event? Were you a debater or are you more of a speaker?
Okay, I was oral interpretation and dramatic interpretation. I got the trophies at the crib.
Okay. Did you go to nationals?
I did. Wait, nationals?
Regionals?
No, regionals.
At least regionals.
No, I made it to regionals. I placed second in OI. Okay. I'll have to look at the trophy again. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
but I didn't go to nationals.
We believe it.
Yeah.
We believe it.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know the difference between debate and speech. So debate is your classic either Congress, 2 or first person, two person or one-on-one. And then interpretation events are you're interpreting literature.
Yes.
And you're playing multiple characters in most cases, unless it's or something oratorical. So it could be humorous, it could be dramatic, or it could, do they still do duo? Or were they doing duo?
Oh my goodness. Back then we were doing duo.
So duo is 2 people interpreting. So usually they're feeding off of each other, but looking straight ahead. It's definitely something to see. So you're being developed intellectually, but then socially and your imagination, your creativity, all of that. So that's just an aside. You know, that's my thing.
Okay.
All right. And so Finish it. So you do your 2 years at CP.
1 year.
1 year at CP.
We was out. Mm-hmm.
And then where do you go?
And then I went to the amazing University of North Carolina at Charlotte.
Yes, honey.
49er.
49er. NCC. Yeah, right. All of that. Yes. Okay. All that. Okay. Shout out to all the 49ers.
Yes.
Yes to all of that. All right. And so you end up at UNCC.
Yes.
Have you declared a major?
Yeah. English.
Sorta? Still English?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're still holding on.
I was English. I don't know.
Okay. All right. You love words.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
But like looking back, I was like, Ohavia, come on, you should have caught that quicker. But yeah, I was English and then changed spring into communications.
Okay, so that brings us here.
Oh.
I'm assuming undergrad.
Yes.
You are a Miss 1111906. Okay,
That's
shout
right.
out to all the alpha.
Yes, for the mighty Untitled Chapter.
Yes, okay.
Yes, alpha,
okay.
Phi Alpha. Yes,
So let's talk about this. Mm-hmm. So cheesing.
Yes, so happy.
Very happy. What
yes.
year is this? Are you?
Oh, I was a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say I was a junior. Mm-hmm.
And so so were you interested in the pageant side of it, or you just wanted to be? Yes.
No, I always wanted to be in a pageant, and that was fulfilled. And I mean I tore rehearsals up. That was my everything. I remember like having class because I was 18 credit hours, 18 to 21, because I remember I was just trying to like bust them out. But then I would go to rehearsals after all my, like a full day of classes, not tired, just excited. And I always wanted to be in a pageant, so I was like, this is perfect. And then like you had to have like something you stood for, and it was a lot that went into it that I really felt like built character. And so I didn't think twice.
Now, was there a talent portion?
Yes, it was.
And what was your talent?
I was a spoken word artist. I did spoken word.
Okay.
Something that I wrote. Oh,
and
yes.
what was it about? What was the topic?
I remember crying. It was about seeing
Wait
it
a
through.
minute, there was tears?
Yes, it was triumphant tears.
Okay.
It was like Rocky. But it was
pretty sure Rocky didn't cry. Did Rocky cry?
No, but you know that scene when he was running up the stairs and
but he wasn't crying. Oh,
I cried.
But you cried is okay because it was triumphant.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was that triumphant.
I got you.
And I wrote a piece, and it was about basically like seeing it through. So I kind of just I talked about like things that happened in my life and like building up to this point and seeing it through.
And so you're a junior at this point.
Yes.
Okay. And so after graduation, what was the plan?
The plan was to be in a newsroom. I actually had a job interview lined up with New York One News.
Okay.
So the plan was graduate, go to that job interview, get the job. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to get it. I was like, that job is mine. Because at the time I was interning with Spectrum News, and then they helped bridge that connection. So I was like, oh, this job's mine. And then just like live in New York, move back home and wait things out, become an anchor woman, become a wife, become a mommy. Boom, we were done.
Okay. And so when you went to New York, was this after you graduated? Okay. And so what happened then?
Went through a couple interviews, and like they never emailed me back. And I remember I waited for about like a month or two. And at the time I was living with my aunt who held me down. She was like, no, we believe in you. While you're going through these interviews, we hold you down, and had the nerve to apply for grad school. Right. So I was going for my master's and thought I was going to be somebody's whole anchor woman, or MMJ, which is multimedia journalist, but you're solo, one-man banding, whatever.
Right.
And so I was just going to finesse it. And then I didn't hear anything back for like a month. And I was like, what is going on?
Right.
Finally emailed them, and they was like, we decided to go with someone else who had more experience. And I feel like that's when everything was like...
Now, did you consider your move back a leap at that time? Or not? Was that a leap for you?
So by that time, Spectrum News Charlotte, they called me and was like, hey, we have something. We feel like you'll be perfect for it. And so I was like, man, I thought I was going to be back home. I thought I was going to be in New York. I thought we were done. So I hopped on the $50 bus. If anybody know about the $50 bus, that's when you're trying to get somewhere quick.
Yes.
Quick.
Well, not really quick, because it's going to take a minute.
It's going to take a minute.
You get, but it... Right. You got to go.
You
like,
got to go.
Right now.
Yeah, that's like the bus where it's like, we out. So hopped on the $50 bus, made it back, had an interview with Spectrum, and literally it was like, we want you. And I was like, oh. So I didn't feel that leap of faith, because to me it was like Charlotte, home, but this is a dream job. I can work with this. Cool.
So then, here we are.
Yes.
Now, is this day one?
This was actually week 1. Week 1, week 2. This was early. I was bright-eyed, bush-tail. I was like, I'm on the road to be an anchor.
Now, what was the position, though? What position did
so
they
let me see. It was producer reporter. This was producer reporter, and this was one of the producing shifts because I used to dress down for a producing shift and then dress up for the reporting shifts.
Okay, so how are you balancing those two hats? So now when you're doing production, is it how we envision it? Like there's a whole room and you're talking to the reporter and all that?
Absolutely.
Like, what's the difference?
So in our newsroom, how it was we had like a monitor in front of us and there were buttons for like anchor, for live shows. So literally it was a lot of like computer work, writing, typing, and then pressing the button, giving cues. Then it was a lot of like managing what was happening on set. Then it was like managing what was happening in the newsroom because sometimes we would just go live in the newsroom. Then for me, it was that social media aspect. So using Twitter to get stuff out. So it was like I was wearing many different hats, doing 50 million different things, but I loved it because I was like,
what was the first reporting you did? What did you report on? Very first thing.
When I got out in the field, I feel like it was a shooting. And because I remember being scared and I went by myself.
So how with your camera person? That was it?
No, sweet baby, like by myself.
So you had to take the camera, all that with you?
Yes, and they said go. And I was
you just rolled out with your camera on your shoulder and a tripod.
And my heels, because I used to do that. No, I shouldn't have did that. But yeah, I did. And so and I remember I didn't even know how to check out a car. I remember okay, so how did I go? I was just going to grab my own keys and go. They's like, no, you got to use
the car with the logo on it, ma'am.
So I was like, I can't use my Nissan? Cool. No. So then I had to check out a car. Didn't even know how to check out a news car, right? So I was just like trying to figure it all out. But like that tenacity and that grind in me, like you didn't have time to learn. It's go, go, go. So I was like, all right, we'll figure it out. Literally, I knew how to set up a tripod from being an intern. The camera, I was like, they're going to get the best shot that I can give them. Like, the best that I can do. It wasn't really live. They was like, just take it and bring it back so it can be breaking news. And it wasn't very far. So like I was shooting, getting different angles. I mean, on the floor, standing up. I took it back and it was like, it's dead. Just forget it. And I was like,
and so then from there, did you do more production or reporting, or was it still a combination of both?
Combination of both, really, until I left. It was a combination of both. And like, I didn't know what I would be doing day to day. So like Monday it could be reporting, Tuesday it could be, producing. Mind you, now these were 1 a.m. shifts, 1 a.m. to 9 a.m., 2 a.m. to like 11 a.m.
Wow. What did you enjoy more, the reporting or the producing?
The reporting.
And how long were you at Spectrum?
4 years.
Okay. And so you wore both hats the entire 4 years.
Yeah.
And so, was that your shift the entire time?
It never changed. I was a 1 a.m.er, 2 a.m.er, and it just...
So I have to ask then, with that really, really crappy, frankly,
shift, 100%, that's why I left.
Just shootings.
Yes.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Like that's
pretty
all
much.
that
Pretty
you're
much.
getting.
And here and there, when I spoke up, I was like, hey, I really feel like this is a community story. Can I do it? There was a lot of pushback, but the executive producer sometimes will be like, yeah, pursue it, see what comes of it. But most of the time, if I didn't push for something, it was just like, just go. If we need you, just go.
And so, did you find it to be rewarding at times?
Yes. Honestly, the ones that I found rewarding were the ones where I could connect with the community or the neighborhood. And like my favorite part was telling them like, oh, text me or reach out to me. And then I had to remember, oh, you're a reporter. Like, whoa, like, is that too much? Like, and I loved people. So I didn't know what that fine line between, this is what we're doing and, this is your job. I didn't know how to. So I was just like, man, this is tough because it was like, I'm supposed to be reporting on what happened. You're trying to make, don't go make a friend and a new cousin, Ohavia. Just report on what it is. But I didn't know how to separate the two, to be honest with you. And so that's why for me it was like, can I keep doing this?
Right.
As much as I love people and storytelling.
Well, we're gonna get to that part because I'm not sure where this picture falls into it. What?
Yes.
Is this? Are you still? Because I guess for placement on this one, are you still at Spectrum?
So this one was high school. That one was Spectrum time.
Okay.
But that was like a weight loss then and now. Why did I pick this one? Freestyling.
What do you mean?
Trying to add something to the collage for us. I was like, oh.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But literally, I will say this. That girl over there was like super happy. I thought I had it all figured out. Like I was like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. Like you couldn't tell me like I wouldn't have gotten the job. Like I just knew everything would fall how I wanted it to.
What do you think was the greatest lesson you learned working there?
Never put all your eggs in one basket.
What does that mean?
Which means that if I could go back, I think I would have applied there and other stations as well. Or like even to magazines or because that's another thing I will say. And I tell students wherever I go, it's like media is so broad. There's so much you can do. But a lot of times we just see, news. And I love news, but like there's different ways you can do news. And so like looking back, I think I would have did more research and figured out like, okay, with this personality and with community and my love of like reaching back out to people, follow through, what could I have done? Okay. I wouldn't have stopped at Spectrum. I would have kept research.
So it's interesting because the other picture that I chose of what you gave me is, I'm assuming high school, college now.
Yep.
Okay. So this looks like this is part of your is this part of your weight loss journey or just who Ohavia is?
Because who Ohavia was.
The fact that we have 3 in 1. So let's talk about the high school Ohavia. How old are you in this picture?
So in this one, this was Myers Park. I want to say I'm probably like 17.
Okay.
16 or 17. Yeah. And then I did this for the transformation one. I'm so glad that you brought that up because it was like everything's gonna go my way, cool. And this was college. Everything is still gonna go my way, cool. And then this is like now at age that we'll discuss later. And it's like, what's crazy is these things didn't happen, but like what I'm grateful for is it's the same smile. Like I never lost that. Even when things are like crazy, it never went away.
And do you think that out of the 3 images, which one is your personal favorite?
This girl, the last one.
Okay.
It's like you learn your lesson. And not in a bad way, but you learn that you make strides, that it's the tough things that actually build character. It's those tough decisions, these tough moments, not assuming everything's going to go your way that makes, honestly, life better because it makes it fun. You don't know what's coming.
What was the hardest story you covered emotionally that you can remember? Either emotionally, no, the one that really got you right here. Yeah. Or even the punch in the gut.
Absolutely. So it was was it 2016 presidential election with Donald Trump. For me that was tough. And what's crazy is the coverage of it wasn't tough. It was a lot of the side conversations and what was said.
Hold on, we got to talk about this.
No, now, I don't mind. Let's go. I don't mind. So
you talking about the side conversations
in
at
the
newsroom?
Station.
Oh, I can imagine. So, I can imagine.
And it was like, I didn't know you thought that way. I didn't know that was a thing for you. I didn't know that that's how you felt. And very blatant. And I'm sitting here trying to work.
Now this is the show you can talk plain.
Yeah,
blatant racism, racist comments.
A lot of racist jokes were said. And it was, and I mean, it's like, that happened. He was elected. We knew it was boom. And it's like, they were like, and now it's time to unleash. Y'all, when I tell you, I was like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way.
You're not lying though.
I didn't know you felt that way. And I mean, from top up, bottom up. I mean, I did not know how to handle it all. I remember going home and I was like, Mom, and what's crazy is I thought I was going to quit then. I was like, yeah, Mom, we're done. We are done. I'm not. But I was trying to see it through, trying to show him I wasn't, no punk about it. But I was like, and then the jokes just got worse and like more careless. And I felt like, honestly, for me being one of the Black producers, it was just like, I'm gonna say what I say, and I dare you to say something back. Right. So they just got real wild with it, Yolanda. And I was like, y'all, I'm not even from here. Like, I'll light this place up. I will light this place up. But
so I want to stay there for a second because I think. Anybody watching that election or even that night, yes, I think was probably traumatizing.
Yes, it was.
It just even sitting on your couch, like, okay, well, these are the numbers, but wait a minute, what? How? And I remember when I saw, I couldn't, like, I physically felt ill.
Yeah, no, that was me.
It was such a tremendous feeling. Like, it was as tremendous as I felt that night, as tremendous as it was when Barack Obama was elected the first time. And I remember that. And I remember feeling like, God, why am I this emotional? But I wasn't just emotional because I was happy. I was emotional because, oh my God, I wish my dad was here. I wish my mom was here. Or, or my grandparents who were, particularly my grandfather, I think just, all that. But then and then it's a complete 180. Yeah. to feeling like despair.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like, oh my God, we're getting ready to be in nuclear war like tomorrow.
Facts for me, it was like, what now?
Do I go get water? Do I start digging my own shelter in my backyard? I'm so serious.
No, 100%.
I'm so serious. Like,
100%.
what do I do? Do I go get a tiny house?
Why did I look at my bank account like, can I move some money?
Girl, I was like, do I need to go buy me a tiny house?
Some money,
I'm
like,
so
what
serious.
has
Like,
happened?
because I started watching the little tiny house show. Because like, I might have to just roll out.
Yeah.
And just be like, you know what? Let me at least live by a lake somewhere in the cut.
Yeah.
And because if the rapture comes, it's gonna be a while before it gets to me.
I was like, let me get a passport.
Wait, sis, you ain't have a passport?
At the time. And when I
Sis.
said, let me go and let's go.
Girl, that was
I was
rough.
sick that morning too.
I was too.
Yeah, I remember like
physically, like I kept looking at the news like, surely this is a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
this is not happening.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was still on the bench.
Yeah.
And the dynamic on the ninth floor was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I remember just looking at people differently.
No,
like
same.
the side eye was real.
Same.
Like nobody would say anything outwardly,
Yeah.
but you could just see the smug looks and
Same.
you could just feel it. The energy was very different.
Same.
Yeah. So that's an aside, but I can
Yeah.
imagine.
No.
I'm curious from a newsroom perspective. Because you're supposed to be balanced and neutral and all of that. So that wasn't your reality.
I feel like they were like, all right, well, now we can show ourselves. And they showed out Yolanda. I mean, and I think the one that stuck out to me the most was we went in for a morning meeting. And at the time, my executive producer, she was like, all right, and, let's get on with it. Like, we're good. And I'm like, ma'am. You're an EP. Like, what are you talking about? And I just remember like the carelessness and the unprofessionalism. Like, it was like that was just all thrown out like the windows. Like they was waiting on this moment to just show themselves, and they did.
And so you're still there though. You're still rocking
still
it out.
Roughing it. Yes.
Okay. Still there, still rocking it out. So what changes? Like what starts to become the impetus of feeling like, okay, I might need to do something else?
When I knew it was time to go was I was pulled in to have my schedule change again. Nobody consulted me. It was like more like a voluntold. It was like, okay, so we know we have you on 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. So here's what we're going to do. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. So I had to, so the shift the day before, I had to work on 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then they wanted me to come in the next day at 8 a.m.
Okay.
Did I explain that right? Okay. Right. And I remember they try to pitch it like, they were doing me a favor. Like you get to sleep and you get to come in, and it was even pitched like you could focus on your O show. And I was like, no, that's one by itself. Like that has nothing to do with this. And I remember talking to my mom, and I was like, Mom, let me run this new schedule by you, because I thought I was crazy. And she was like, oh no, ma'am, that has to be against the law, like labor laws. Like where is that? Shout out to my mom. That's my best friend. She was like, no, labor laws. And my mom is on Google. She's like, North Carolina labor laws. And I was like, I don't know where to even begin with this. Like, but I remember thinking, wait, 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. and you want me to turn around the next day, 8 a.m. Like something's off.
Right.
And so I tried to push back. Actually, it was my first major pushback, because usually I was just the yes woman, like, let's go with it.
Now, what year is this?
This was the last year.
No, like in 2018.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay.
So this is 2018.
We're setting the scene.
Yes. So this was in 2018. And I was like, it's a wrap. So let me see. Let me see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September, because I was out in October. So it was September. And this was pushing back like, hey, I don't want to, I can't do this. I'm going to be exhausted. No. We considered you, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm like, and this was like a whole week worth. And they was just not trying to hear it.
So why didn't you consider another station?
So here's where that leap of faith is. On the inside, for me, it was like, I wasted so much time here. Can I go to another station? And I was applying, but like nothing came of it. Or I think because I caught it at just like a weird time. And also, to be honest, I got comfortable at Spectrum. So I was like, no, I'm okay. I could probably rough this. But the schedule, that schedule took me out. So I mean, I was applying, but.
And so how long were you on that schedule? About a month, it sounds like? If that?
No, see, baby, we didn't make it there.
Oh, you didn't make it to the actual schedule.
I said, but hold my cape. I'm going to show y'all something.
What was the date?
October 6th, 2018.
Okay. So Walk us through what happens that day. So wait, So do you wake up like hype with your hype music? Like, yes, it's going down today. Like, was it like that, or was it like, okay,
I turned 25. So October 6, 2018 is when I made the decision up here. Mm-hmm. And it was my birthday, and I had off that whole week.
You can tell us your age now.
Yes. Oh, I am 27 years old.
Like legit 27.
Yeah, I'm 27.
We're not making that. Okay.
No. I'm 27, I promise.
I'm 30 and holding then.
You know, well,
right. No, but go.
30. Go. So, October 6, 2018, I made the decision.
Okay.
But I was on like a birthday vacation, so I had taken a week off. Mm-hmm. Got back October 10th. So 10-10, that's my favorite number because that's when I actually did it. I pulled into the parking lot, and I was like, yeah. And I drove off. And I remember, so here's how it went. My mom, I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, I can't keep doing this. And my mom is my ride or die. She said, no, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, how does this go? Because I've never like just quit. Mm-hmm. So and y'all, this is 100% facts. I sent a text. I sent a resignation.
Oh, you did not quit by text. You know, okay. We're going to let you finish.
I know, looking back. I sent a resignation text to all of my EPs and also the news director.
So did you never step back in Spectrum after that?
Mm-mm.
You ain't even clear your desk. You said y'all can have
No, you don't understand. I still have amazing merch there. And it's still there. I have an show mug.
Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. The people need to understand.
Yes.
Ohavia.
Yes.
Quit by text.
By text. This is 100% facts. That. No, don't do that.
Those of us who are employers who have dealt with such levels of shenanigans, we don't recommend that.
Don't do it.
However,
comma.
You quit by text.
Yes.
Do you remember what the text said?
Ooh,
surely you still have it.
You know, my phone set to factory mode, but it went a little something like this. Hit it. It was like, thank you for everything that you all taught me. I am so appreciative. I have to go.
Wait a minute. Sis. You said, thank you. You got to say it like how you.
Okay, let me.
We need to.
Okay, let me get in character.
Okay, let's get in character.
So I woke up, and this was mine. I didn't sleep because I talked to Mom. I probably laid down for like 5 seconds. Woke up, and my mom woke up with me. This is like midnight. I said, Mom, I'm gonna do it. She was like, and she held me down. I said, blase, comma. Thank you for all you taught me. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this experience. I gotta go. And then put my phone down and was like, please don't chime back. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. And nobody hit me back.
Nobody responded to the text.
And so,
sis, nobody tried to call.
Nope.
That means they never valued you at all.
Facts. But on the flip side, there was intel on the inside who called and was like, they are losing it. They want to know why. They're losing it and want to know why. And I wasn't in a space to discuss it. So I was like, just let it be, blase. But thanks for the intel. But yeah. And so my mom was like, maybe we should send like an official resignation letter.
Yeah, right.
So the email to HR and all lamb came after.
And you still your pens, your Post-it notes, all your good stuff.
You don't understand.
It's at your desk.
One of my coworkers who was still there, she was like, do you want me to drop this off, mail it to you? Like, I was like, y'all can have, that's how you know you're ready to go. I left my good Post-it notes, my agenda. I had just bought that agenda. My pen.
And your own amazing
It said, it was the first merch I've ever had. It said the O Show. It was a stylist pen. It was gifted to me, left it. Mug, left it. I was just so ready. And that's how you know. I was like, y'all can have it.
Well, we're going to get to how all of that then evolved from there.
Yes.
But so before we get into the leap,
yes,
what does faith mean to you?
Faith is honestly leaning on scripture is the substance of things hoped for, but evidence of things not seen is even though I don't know what it looks like, I have to shoot my shot. Like, it's like when all roads lead to nothing else, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to lay in the fetal position or are you going to go and fulfill your destiny? And really you don't have to have all the pieces together.
So when and I want to step back to that day, 10-10. So you send the text, no one responds. Does that hurt your feelings?
It did. I'm not going to lie. It did. Initially, I was like, all that work I put in, all the sacrifices, when people were sick, when people would finesse, get caught lying to call out of work.
Right.
I still was like, no, I'm going to hold this station down. And it was like, they didn't hold me down. So it did hurt because it showed that I wasn't valued, I wasn't respected or appreciated. And there was not even efforts made to like, hey, Ohavia, no, here's what happened or whoop, whoop, whoop. It was just like, all right.
So what did you do to prepare for that leap?
You know what's crazy? Nothing. So I was in a hit and run and had the nerve to buy a 2017 Nissan Sentra.
Before you quit.
Wait, yeah, because the hit and run was in that same, it's fuzzy, but the hit and run was in that same, like, I'm out, but like I try to buy more time because I was like, I just got this new whip. But yeah, so I had no money saved up. This is legit the story that I no money saved up, no job, nowhere to go. I was like, the only plan I had was cashing out the 401k.
Right. So faith is, so we know it from a biblical standpoint.
Yes.
What does it mean for you personally?
You gonna do it? Are you gonna do the darn thing? Or are you gonna wait for somebody to hand it to you? Or are you gonna go get it? All I know is go getters. All I know are people who went and got it. My mom was a go getter. Like, she was the one who was like, we gonna get it. So that's all I know. So like, my mom was a fantastic example of, if this don't work, we gonna make something else work. Because what you gonna do? Like, you gonna sit there? So I was just like, faith to Ohavia is, we're gonna go do the darn thing. We have no choice.
Right. I know, and I like to tell this story a lot when I speak to kids, well, mostly older people, not old people, but you know what I mean. But I learned faith as an acronym from our Big Mama, Yolanda Van Zandt.
Oh, hey.
It's Big Mama. It's Big Mama. But I read it in a book when I was in law school, and it's FAITH, feel as if the thing has happened. And that's been literally a mantra for me. Like, every major move I've made is started with that written on something.
Yeah.
Either initially in law school when I was getting ready to study for the bar, it was on a Post-it note.
Yeah.
Now it's like on my bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
And so taking that idea of feeling as if it's happened.
Yeah.
How then, after you left, you sent the text, okay, now what? What was the plan? Did you write anything down, or was it just like, I'm really done?
I did a vision board.
Okay.
And I was like, at least I could have a grip on this. So I did a vision board, and I called everybody. I called Christina. I called Jonathan Lowe, the closest people who were in the newsroom to me. Also, I told you, actually, the very next day.
You did.
And I didn't tell a lot of people
I was
because
like, hell yeah.
Y'all, I want to go on record. She celebrated me, and I was like, we're good.
I didn't know you quit by text, so I would have like said sis. But anyway,
I had
whatever.
to go.
I was happy, so happy. For you.
Yes.
Like, hell yeah.
I told you
now
the
what
next
we finna
day.
Do?
Exactly.
What we finna do? What you doing?
So like, literally, I call all my closest colleagues, mentors. I didn't even tell my grandparents, and we'll get to that if you want. But like, it was that level of, I didn't want to disappoint them, so I was like, let me hold on to this. Literally, I just told my grandparents what's going on my birthday this year. They had no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
So they didn't realize they hadn't seen you on the news in a minute. Like, she hadn't said ain't no story.
No, I was just like leaving out early in the morning, as I always did, and would come back because that grind, trying to set up things for myself. I said, if I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, all things media, if I want to be a host, all things hosting people, communities, I got to do, I got to make it happen. So I was going to coffee houses and just coming back as if I did a whole shift.
Okay, we're not even judging you on that.
Okay.
We're not even judging you on that.
Had to do it.
I gotta share though, because it's funny, like when you talked and you told me the next day, like I was so excited for you.
Yeah.
And I remember, the day that I decided to officially leave the bench. And you and I hadn't really talked in any real depth at that point, but I had not too long before that talked to Christina. I think Christina may have had an inkling of what was going on, but mine was it was the same thing. I didn't have any money saved.
No.
It was like, I don't know, but it was a combination of really, when I Speak was really starting to take off after I did the West Charlotte event.
Yeah.
But it was Roy Cooper's. That defining moment was when Roy Cooper got elected, because the big thing that stopped me, even though I had some really crazy experiences, there was one that I won't get into, but I was going to quit that day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, y'all, we're colleagues.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have to do this,
Yeah.
Anyway, more on that later. So, but when I did it, it was like the same thing. Like, I didn't have any money saved.
No.
I had sold all my furniture for the firm. I didn't keep any. Obviously, I didn't keep any cases, but I had nothing other than the 2 chairs in my office currently. In my office, my 2 guest chairs and my coat rack that's in my office. That's the only thing that I had. I had my desk from my office that was in my house, but that thing barely made it through the move. So like it's just kind of put together. It's not gonna fall
just
apart.
Holding itself together. Yeah.
But I actually wrote a letter. So I had written a letter the day before. Right, I could have, but I couldn't do that. So I wrote a letter and I put it in my desk that night. It was sealed. Ironically, the next day I had lunch with two of my colleagues, and they had commented on some things that, you might want to keep an eye out, because I knew that I was getting a lot of pushback from I Speak.
Right.
Because it was getting too much attention.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm sitting here having lunch today. I have no idea. I'm about to be out in the morning.
Facts.
Like, I'm out. So I'm listening.
out.
I'm like, oh, thank y'all. But I'm like, child, this is just confirmation.
Right.
Deuces. Because the Lord, the universe, whatever your beliefs are, will send you signs.
100%.
And so long story short, I go to court. I had recorded what I said on social media that morning. I literally was out in the cold, did 2 takes, whatever. I got to just say it.
Say it.
So I had the letter with me in the courtroom. So I'm hearing this hearing. I was like, okay. So I had actually taken it to the chief, but didn't realize I had to go back into the courtroom to handle a hearing. So now I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't need him to open the letter.
Right.
So he's going to open the letter and start telling folk. And I hadn't had a chance to send my email because Ohavia, literally, I had the letter. I had typed the email. It was on my laptop. All I had to do was press send. But I gave him the letter too quick. So I'm freaking out. Anyway, it worked out.
See, that's why
it always works out. Yeah, right. I should have said text. But anywho, it worked out, and I literally pressed send, and I had it saved. It was queued on my phone to post it on social media. It was like boop, boop.
Oh,
let it, and walked out the courtroom because I took my laptop, had my phone, and then nobody knew. But in my mind, I literally by the time I got to my office, maybe about 20-30 seconds later, phone was blowing up. Of course, the Charlotte Observer picked it up probably within 30 minutes after that. And then they, but then he saw, of course, the letter, and we actually had an opportunity to have a conversation face to face. But, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Because no sooner than I left was all the shenanigans around the gerrymandering of the districts, rewriting or redrawing the districts to target particular black judges. We saw the results of that in the election. That's why there's a lawsuit pending now. They could do a whole story on that. And I remember the chief and I having a conversation at the bench. I was doing something. And he was like, your timing. I was like, dude, nobody saw this coming.
Yeah, we didn't see this coming.
But I knew I would have been a target. I clearly would have been a target because, frankly, I was kind of like you're mad, you're over it. But I just, the last couple of months, it was just like, I could tell the difference.
Yeah.
I could look at my face and I was getting that, what the fuck line?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can say that. I can cuss on this show.
It's yours.
But I was getting that line right here, that stress, and, I was 25 pounds heavier. It was crazy. But that's how that's why I asked you, one of the big things, anytime I think a person is considering making a leap or a jump or a change or a job change, even relationships.
Yes.
What's the defining moment? You might not know what it is then. Yeah. It might not seem like a defining moment, but there's going to be something that's going to just,
100%.
We have to do.
Yeah.
So it sounds like for you, it was the schedule. I refuse to
Yolanda,
do this.
I was like, I'm not about to do that. No. And also, this may be small, but I'm still say it anyway. I was gaining weight and I was losing hair.
Girl, me too.
And mind you, I was like,
what?
And I mean, I'm talking so at this, I wasn't wearing any weaves at this point. I was rocking my hair like in a bob. And I just remember I would run my fingers through it in the morning. I'm like, what is going on? Broke out in hives. Went to the emergency room, in hives, and the doctor was like, listen, I'm writing you a note, go sit down.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, because I don't know what is going on, skin breaking out, and to know me is to know I don't play about my skin. I don't play about physical appearance.
Okay, we got a high five on that.
Yes,
right.
I don't play about that, y'all. Okay. So I was gaining weight, hair was falling out, and my skin broke out in hives, and nobody cared. Literally, I remember texting my executive producer when I broke out in hives, and she was like, okay, well, almost saying you could still come in, it's just hives.
And I was like, just produce. Nobody has to see you.
I was like, and you can find somebody to take my shift. I didn't show up, but literally the doctor was like, this is stress. You're stressed. And I'm like, I'm so young. What are you talking about? But that was it for me. So it was a bunch of health stuff.
I could feel that too. Yeah.
Stomach hurt. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I was driving to work one morning and this side was hurting and skipping a beat. And I was like, and now I know it's called a panic attack. See, I didn't know any of this.
Right.
But looking back, talking it through, it was like, wow, I really was going through and had no idea. Because it was like, just suck it up. Like, you should be grateful we gave this to you. And I was like,
I remember when Christina did the story on West Charlotte.
Yeah.
And Facebook is so rude because it shows you like stuff from years ago.
Yeah.
But at the time, I remember when the first part of the second, because it was a 2-part show.
Yeah.
I Speak for Justice, I think that's what it was. And I remember she did this.
Yep.
She did this pan of me on the bench beside the judge, and I was like, "Oh my God!" The camera really puts on 20 pounds. Sis, you're fat. Your face is fat.
I'm
and
that
is you. And right,
I'm a head out
because I was like, "Dang, is that?" Yeah, no,
and
it was not the camera. It was not the camera. And I could even see just like, even though it wasn't, he and I were talking, and I thought I looked like jovial, like I could, the seriousness, and just like just feeling like, even though that was giving me energy and life, like it was all over.
Yeah.
It was all over. And so the other thing about the leap is making sure that you're honoring your feelings, not just during the leap, but before the leap, because when you don't honor it, then you probably are going to be blinded by what's actually happening, because your spirit, regardless if you're a religious person or not, your spirit will tell you.
Yeah,
especially more so for women and men. No disrespect to the men watching
we love
at
men.
all.
Yeah.
But I just think a woman's intuition is very strong and very powerful and a gift for us.
100%.
And so if we don't honor the feelings, then what does that mean to you?
Oh my goodness. So I was honestly trying not to throw my phone, because that's everything. Honoring those feelings. I think it's like the moment of truth. It's like, okay, you can keep finessing the situation and getting bigger, skin breaking out, hair falling out, or you can just do the darn thing. And so I had to really tap into that inner Ohavia. That's why those pictures are so like intentional. It was like each time in my life where it was like, you going to conform or not?
Right.
Are you going to do what they want you to or not? And so for me, it was like, I just turned 25, so maybe that was like the 25-year-old Shantum. But I just turned 25, and it was like, are you going to do this for them or you?
Right.
Oh, real simple. And that was the first time I honored a feeling out loud. Usually, you cover it up, you finesse it. With family, it's different, friends different, but this is like business. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. And I had to choose me out loud. That was a lot.
And so the other thing is the downs and the ups.
Yeah.
In the process, I think, of going through that leap, and I say this all the time, like if it doesn't scare you, if it doesn't frighten you, and that's kind of the honoring the feelings part, but if it doesn't scare you, if it doesn't frighten you, if you don't get, if you don't question yourself, if you don't question your decision, or second guess yourself, it's probably not the right leap.
No.
Because part of that process is almost like you, depending on, even if it's in a relationship, you have to find yourself. Yeah. Like if you have to make a decision to leave an unhealthy or toxic relationship, you have to find yourself. Yep. If it's a job, you have to find yourself. Yep. Even if it's a move sometimes. Because usually those are the big things. It's a relationship or something professional. Yep. Like you have to honor that process. Yep. Did you think initially for you, were there more downs than ups, or more ups than downs?
More ups than downs.
Talk to me about the downs, though.
The downs were heavy, though. That's why I kind of hesitated, because the downs was like, ah. But downs included were not limited to being spoken to like I wasn't human, having no money.
Girl.
Listen to me. Having no money.
Right.
Figuring out I got this 2017. Is this going to be in repo? Having to have my younger sister hold me down. Having to have my mom hold me down on top of the 3 younger boys. So it was like, oh, hey, what are you doing? Oh, and then the downs of, I want to pursue this thing on YouTube full time, but it's like, how do I do that? So there was a lot of downs, and it was all emotional, that internal battle of like, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should have just kept quiet, went with the status quo, got this check, and did both. But it was like, nah. But for me, it was more ups and downs with them downs.
They were deep.
They were very deep, very deep.
And when did it start to shift?
When I was like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what no one thinks. I'm doing this Osho thing. I don't care.
And so then from there, so once you have that, we'll get to the Osho in a second, but the last part of it, I think, when you're considering the leap is like, okay, well, now what? Yes. You honor this. This is how you feel. Yep. You know, you have your ups, your downs, which is going to happen daily. Yep. Sometimes hourly. Maybe minute by minute.
I said minutely.
That is right. I wasn't going to say, but right, minutely.
Y'all know what I mean.
Like bigly. Minutely. That's the word of the day.
And I said it so confident. Minutely. Annoying. I'm so annoying.
But then that's the last part of it, I think.
Yeah.
Now what? So you've done it. You're going through all these changes. At some point, there's going to be a shift upward. It doesn't matter. There's going to be a shift upward. Now what?
Right.
So then what's the now what for you?
So after I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I was like, all right. So what's the first step to trying to be a talk show host? What's the first step to wanting to MC community events? Like, how do we go about doing that? What does that look like? And so that was those days where I was going like to coffee houses at 7, 8 a.m. and like just like researching things in the city, researching, because I believe you got to start somewhere. So researching like nonprofits, so I could insert myself in, leaning on those connections I made at Spectrum, because they loved me. It wasn't about Spectrum, it was about me. So it's like calling those people back like, hey, you know, I want to do this thing, not even knowing what it was called. Just like, I just want to get on a mic and make your event. Great. So trying to finesse it. But my what now, I was just like, we're going to reach and we're going to see what bites first.
Okay. Now look at the screen.
Yes.
What do you want to change? How do you have your say?
What do you want to change? How do you have your say? Where's this at?
I got it. Don't worry about where I got it from.
That's everything. I need to take a selfie.
Right.
That's everything. What do you want to change? What would I want to change?
And you can answer that however you want.
So what do you want to change? I think You know, I'm going to be honest. We could be honest on the show.
Of course.
I want thicker skin.
Okay.
Like, I want my bounce back to be stronger. Like, when something doesn't fall through, I want to be able to go, it's cool. And, you know, like, just, I want to be able to bounce back faster. I feel like I don't stay down long, because that's not what I'm saying either. But you know how something gets to you and it rocks you and you're just like, I need a day. I want to be the type of person, like, just give me like 2 minutes. So that's definitely something I want to change, is that thick skin, that ditty, that being able to go, okay, so what's the next plan? Like, having plans. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What do you want to change? What was the second part?
Well, how do you have your say?
How do I have my say is me. So all this extraness, all this personality in every room, I don't switch. I don't do none of that. None of that. Look, you're going to get Ohavia. You wanted me here, you're going to get Ohavia. 3 words to describe you. Go. Okay, go. Authentic, positive, extra. I was going to say gregarious. I'm like, I don't even talk like that.
Too many synonyms. So we might ask you to dig deeper.
Okay.
That's too many synonyms.
Okay. Deeper?
Yes.
Could you use sentences?
Yeah,
okay. No. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat.
3 words.
3 words.
Because authentic.
Authentic and positive is
but I want you to dig deeper.
Deeper.
Than that. Because that's what people see when they meet you. But how would you describe yourself internally, what they don't see? Yeah. Fighting. Is that one? That is a word. Mightily or minutely. Fightingly.
Fighting. Searching.
That's good.
Searching.
What are you searching for?
See, you said go deep. Now I'm like, man, I done went deep. So when I say searching, it's like I don't know, something happened. I turned 27 and I was like, okay, now what? Like, what are we doing? How far are we trying to take this thing? And also just like thinking about the future a lot. So searching for that a lot. I'm starting to journal and do yoga and meditate. I bought my ballet shoes, just trying to tap into like the essence of Ohavia. It's like a renewed sense of self. So I'm searching for that again, but also like trying to stay in reality. Not that I'm out of touch with reality, but you know, you have to have a balance of like, okay, right, you want to go on this soul searching, cool, but just remember we're here. And fighting, searching.
Let's keep authentic.
I like
I'm gonna
authentic.
make you do another word.
Yeah.
So okay, you have 30 minutes. You can do anything you want with that 30 minutes. What do you do?
Okay, 30 minutes. I could do anything I want. I would Wait, okay, so like hypothetically, like something like what if it's something involving Oprah?
Okay.
Is that a thing?
That can
okay,
whatever
like
it is.
30 minutes to do anything, and I have all the resources to make this happen. I would want a phone call with Oprah.
Okay. That's it.
Yes, just a phone, A phone call. I don't even
want to have lunch.
Lunch. I don't know where she's at.
That's
and
okay.
I only have 30 minutes,
honey.
FaceTime.
Okay.
So she could catch the smile. But literally, I would do a FaceTime or call. Hey, Mr. Winfrey, just
okay, right.
Because I got to shake it off because this woman is everything to me. So yeah.
Okay, and so you didn't pick this picture, but I did.
Oh yay!
So who's in the picture? And then now let's talk about Amazing.
Oh my goodness!
And let's talk about those.
This is amazing. So this is Demetria. She's a photographer. That's Christelle. She was a volunteer. That's Z. She was a volunteer, and that's Joshua Galloway, who was a phenomenal photographer as well. And like this was from Osho Live too.
Mm-hmm. And when did that happen?
That happened. When did that happen? That happened October 26th. Was it 29th? 26. It was 26. Y'all, I'm sorry. The days come together.
Live show?
Yep. It was a live show at the Harvest Center.
Okay.
Live studio audience with a DJ.
Okay.
And y'all, I just get so cheesy because it's like, it's my toddler. But I just love it so much. So the topic for this one was shift influence. So it was how we use our gifts, what we're good at, all the dope things that make us us, how we use it for good.
And who were your guests?
Yes. So I had Greg Cox, who's a phenomenal artist and producer. I had Kyle King, who's the dean of Queen City STEM, and I had Morgan Butler, who's like a health coach, and she's just a beast at all things health.
Okay. And so tell us about the format. Now this show, and tell us about the format of this show and how did it differ from your first one?
Oh, it was completely different. So this one was more panel, like more panel. Like they had their individual intros, but it was panel. And then we had like a Q&A. But what honestly, this show was my favorite. The first one, I feel like it was the first, it was inaugural. It was all the hype built around it. And even though it did what it was supposed to do, we talked about entrepreneurship, but I was still playing it safe because I had just left Spectrum and I wasn't trying to step on anybody's toes or upset anybody. So it was Ohavia, but it wasn't like how I could have really went in. And so I was like, I'm not doing that with the second show.
Right.
Like, we gonna say all the things.
Okay.
And so I think that was like the difference that I saw between 1 and 2 for sure. Is like, I was like, I don't care who I offend, y'all gonna be all right. Like,
now is your show, what's the plan as far as the show? Is it going to be monthly, weekly? Like how often can we expect to see it?
So the goal is monthly. That's what I can handle right now. Cause, fun fact, I'm funding it all by myself.
Okay.
So it's the grind and funding it. And honestly, with the help of all of my very good friends, like who work in media, they help me edit, but I'm doing that, all the editing. And they'll come and shoot it, or like I'll bring in a friend who's a videographer. Really, it's like friends and family make it go around. But like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the goal is monthly. Live studio audiences in different places. So like this time it was Harvest Center. I really like this setup, so I might stick with Harvest Center, might not. I mean, I'm open to whatever. And just keeping it going. And
is it an evening show, day show, or?
It's always in the evening, so it'll always be a 7 to 9 situation.
Okay.
Because I just like.
Did you give anything away? Were there giveaways? Did you do this with your hands?
Yes, so I did do the Oprah thing.
Yes.
So giveaways I did because y'all, I was like, that's gonna be a thing. So giveaway was from there's this salon where I get my hair done. She helped me do a giveaway for like from head down styling. It was by House of Chic here in Charlotte. And Latoya Williams, she's the owner there. She helped me do a giveaway, and we gave it away to a fellow. She also does media here in the city. Gave it to her. And it's so crazy because she was afforded the ability to go interview for Soul Train Awards, and she was able to use it. So it was really cool how it was like, oh, that came back around. And also we gave 10 people, we did a setup where it's like, look under your seats. And so we gave 10 people free counseling sessions valued at $300.
Oh, wow.
10 people pull up, talk about everything, set it up however you want. And when I got back in touch with Paramount Holistic, who is the organization that helped me pull that together, it was like, people are calling back. It makes us happy. So the fact that people were so inspired to like, yeah, let's do that part, because I touched on it. It was cool.
So one of the things that I saw that popped up on Facebook was, tell me about a time when the season shifted with the people around you, and how did you deal with that?
To be honest, didn't we just have this conversation?
Which is crazy because when I saw it on the other, I was like, "What? We just talked about this.
We just talked about it." So on it last week.
Yeah,
well, that was last week, right? You know, I have to remember that nobody's responsible for supporting you. Nobody's responsible for being real to you. And y'all, that's what I'm saying, like that thick skin. But like it hits different when it's people who it's like, it's you, like you know what I'm trying to do. So for me, I think it's like my hardest lesson is just it'd be people. Like, how do you handle when it's the closest ones to you who you like, you are showing your tail. Square up. Like, that's what I be trying to like understand. So for me, it's definitely that issue.
Has it been people not willing to accept who Ohavia is becoming that you think, or do you think it's people not prepared for the notoriety that has come?
Yes, I think that honestly it's a little bit of both, because if I stayed who I was, it was comfortable, and it would allow them to continue doing what they do. So I think that they wanted me to just stay that Ohavia, because it's like, okay, well, you know, I need you to support this part of me. But like with all these things, all things Osho and all the things happening, like I'm growing up, I'm maturing, I'm learning a lot about business and all that. And before, like for some people, it's like, who do you think you are? And I'm like, I don't think I'm anything. Like I'm reading books, literally reading books on everything. So please don't take it that way. But for some people, it's like, I don't want to, well, intimidating maybe. I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of them, but it's disappointing, because it's like we all knew what the end goal for me was. Why you acting new?
So how are you adjusting?
I cut them off. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I don't, we have a conversation, or we might not. I just did it this morning.
Did you text them?
Actually,
I'm out.
But thanks for everything. I'm gonna head out. But like really, no, yeah, I just cut them off. If there's a conversation, amen. But like if not, like when I tell you Yolanda, I'm so like whatever at this point. Cause you know, when you have the end in mind, it's like, okay, just go somewhere, go sit down. So I just cut them off.
Well, and I do think the reality is particularly when your leap is manifesting quickly, especially with relationships that you've had for a long time. I think oftentimes, even if people know that this is what you're going to do, you've trusted them that this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Oftentimes people don't think it's really going to happen. Like, we got you, we'll
That
support
part,
you,
yes.
but they don't think it's it's really going to happen.
Right.
And then when it does, then, you know, it's discomfort.
Yeah.
Because what does that mean for us? What does that mean for our relationship? Are you going to be around? Are you too busy for me now? Like, what does that mean?
I get that too.
And so grown folks will act out.
Yeah.
And it's not about, and I think this is one of the things I said to you. I said, honey, this is not about you.
Yeah.
It's what you represent, and it's about them. It's like what it is, bringing something out of them that makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
And then that means that they ultimately project their issues onto you.
Right.
And that's hard. That is so hard, because it's like, what are you talking about?
And that's all I want to know. But then I say that to you last week. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you knew this was coming. So I think that's what makes that's what makes it disappointing. It's just like, you know, you knew what my goals were. You knew where I wanted to go with this. You said like you was with it. And I think when it starts happening, that's actually the perfect way to put it. It happened, and they're like, well, now you're never around and you're always so busy. What? Now you're just reaching. Right.
Because at the end of the day, and I think one of the things I said to you, not everybody deserves a front row seat to your life.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Learning that.
Like, that's easy to say, or you cut somebody off or whatever, but not everybody deserves that. Or they don't, their season has ended.
Right.
Particularly when a season ends, because that's when you're going through those feelings and those downs and ups.
Yeah.
And especially in the age of social media, of people responding, you know, to an issue between the two of you on social media or worse.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's probably the hardest lesson that I had to learn, and dealing with it, but then still letting it go, and like legit letting it go, because we can talk about it, you know, we can vent, you know, whether it's, you know, through friends or a therapist or whatever, but those feelings are still going to come back.
Right.
Even when you're not expecting it.
Right.
And so I think I told you, it's like, you know, I had to, when I was in Barbados, I did this exercise. I just made this up. I just, the spirit told me, I don't know.
Tell him.
Well, I wasn't going to get it. Well, anyway, okay. So I'm in Barbados. It's the last day. I'm mad. I don't want to go home. Let me just make that clear. I don't want to go home.
She did not.
I don't want to get on the plane. I got a bad attitude. And it was the first time, because I was so busy the whole trip, just out in these streets, just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so my journal, which was empty.
Yeah.
Like I said, well, let me write something down. You know how you tell me you don't journal intentionally, you just writing stuff just to be writing stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I was doing that. But what I did.
Today is a good day.
Right. Yeah. Dear diary. You know, something. I'm all right. It's okay. But I actually did this exercise where I took slips of paper And it was particular people and particular things that I knew were still weighing heavy on my spirit. Some things were years old, like, years of hurt, rather. And I would write the person's name down and like what specifically it was that hurt me. And it was like, and I purposely didn't put on a big piece of paper because I was like looking at, I'm going to put this in the ocean. I don't want these people to see me ripping up paper in the ocean. Like, what is she doing?
What's she doing up there?
So I did
going off the balcony.
Right. So I'm like on the edge. This is a public beach. I'm sitting there writing on these little tiny squares.
Yeah.
And I wrote it down and I took pictures of it, because I didn't want to forget what it was that I wrote.
Wow.
So I, tore it off into little pieces. For each thing, it was like 9 or 10 things.
Yeah.
And prayed over it. I don't even know if it was a legit prayer. I just prayed over it, because that's what you're taught to do. Like pray over hurt and, release it. That's easier said than done. Like, come on now. It's easier said than done.
Can we talk about it for real? Okay.
For real. And so I, walked out into the ocean. I even still had my cover up. I just didn't feel like it, but it's just like, I got to do something with this, because once I started writing about it, then now the tears are coming.
Wow.
Now it's welling up all this hurt and this disappointment, and you're remembering again, like, things that were said about you or things that were done to you, or, just all of those things. And I walked out, I had the little pieces of paper, and for each one, like, I went out as far as I could without like the waves messing up the paper. And so for each thing, like, I said the person's name and what they did. And I looked at it, I read it, and then I just tore it up in little tiny pieces, and I just put my hands in the ocean and I just let it wash away. And I did that for each.
Teary-eyed. Wow.
Well, I didn't tell you the whole story. And so I did that with each piece of paper. And so at first I was like, looking around, said, "Ooh, I don't want somebody to come get me because I'm out here littering in the ocean."
She's
like,
littering.
It's like, am I breaking the law? I don't know. So, but after a while, I just didn't care, because like each time I did, I said out loud, "You're leaving it here, Yolanda. You have to leave it here. It's in the ocean. You have to leave it here." So for each piece of paper, same thing. Said the person's name, said, whatever it was that I wrote down, tore it in a little pieces of paper. Same thing. Did that 8 or 9 times. And then I went back in and, sat down, because at that point it was time for me to go. And it was just an exercise. Like, it meant something. Yeah. Like, emotionally, it was very symbolic. Right. But I remember when I came back, there were a few things that happened that brought that up again. But I'm going to tell you what was so powerful, because the first thing I said was like, Yolanda, you left that in the ocean. Yep. You don't get to go back to that. No. And then I had that image of literally leaving it in the ocean. Right. And then that just, brought me back down center. And like, I've still had to deal with it. I've had to deal with it recently, but that's the thing that I remember. Right. It was like, you left it in the ocean. You left it. You don't get to go back to that. You don't get to come back to it. So, depending on whatever it is or however it is that you address it, I just think, for me, because I'm a visual person, like, you have to do something symbolically. Okay. Because when you take that leap, and it's for real, you're going to lose friends. Yes. If you are in a relationship, it can put a strain on your relationship. You're going to have issues with potential coworkers or, people in the profession, folks that don't believe in what you're doing. Yes. Especially if the leap is associated with a relationship. Now people picking sides. Yes. Everybody got something to say about it, all of that. But at some point you have to let it go. Yeah. And we can say it and we can talk about it, but sometimes we don't actually do it. We don't do it. And so, maybe the next trip there may be another set of another journal page. Listen, and I'm coming. It'll be in the ocean. Trip. Right. Well, it's coming up. It's hashtag undisclosed. Sorry, sis. You can't. Yeah. I can't. But anyway, so if you were to give advice to anybody, like right now, yes, what's the biggest thing as far as making the leap? Like, what's the biggest thing that they need to know if they're considering that? Okay.
From my experience, you don't have to have it all together, but get up every day as if you have it all together. So that was one thing with me, was I was getting up every morning after quitting, like, all right, and we're going to apply here, do this, reach out. And also, don't say you don't have anything. You have something. Lean back onto those relationships that you built. Lean back into those resources that you had, because it was never about the job. It was always about you. And what happens is we forget, we think the job makes us. No, you made the job. You made that organization. You made that business. You made whatever it was. So lean back into that, because they believed in you. You were just a part of that organization. Absolutely. So I would definitely say, I think you don't have nothing. You have something. You just have to be brave enough to reach back out. Tell them about the leap you took, because literally when I did, everybody was on board. Everybody was like, oh, this is lit now. Like, now we can support you how we want. Right. So work with what you got. Change your mindset. Wake up every morning. I'm a 5 a.m.er.
I don't know about that.
Never if you're an 8 a.m.er, it's all right. It's
maybe 8.
Wake up at your early. Can we say early hour? Wake up at your.
Have to. No. But anyway, don't judge me.
Oh, all right. But wake up at whatever's early for you or comfortable for you, and literally work as if you're working for yourself, and work with what you got. Those are definitely the ones that held me down, and like I still practice, and it's gold.
So what's next for you?
Okay, so next for me is I am building toward, I will be a Charlotte talk show host. Next is really rolling out the O shows monthly, increase in production. And when I say increase in meaning, like really being intentional about like different pans and angles. So really investing in that look and just allowing it to like grow legs, but literally being a Charlotte talk show host in a physical space, even if I got to buy it.
Okay, and speak it.
Even if I gotta buy it, because I'm going to, and just continuing to read books on business, continuing to take the limits off of Ohavia and this brand Amazing, traveling.
Wait, stop. Hashtag amazing.
Hashtag amazing.
Okay, and what's the other hashtag?
No, literally, that's the main one. Hashtag amazing.
Okay. And then they can get to you. They can follow the show through it. Oh, is it O Show Live?
Yes,
at O Show Live.
At the O Show Live.
Is that Twitter and Instagram?
No. So on Twitter it's just Ohavia Phillips, but on Instagram it's at Ohavia Phillips, and the other one is at the O Show Live.
Now, is there another show already scheduled? The next show?
Yes.
When is it?
April 2020.
Okay. We don't have a date. Okay.
I don't have a date. But the reason why, and for me, I move with intention. The reason why it's April 2020 is it would be a year anniversary to the first show that I did. The first one that I did was April 13th, 2019. And so it'll be like, oh, snap. So it's like, and this is the one letting the people know, like, these will be rolling out every month. So listen, grab your agendas, get ready, because I'm bringing you this good content with my amazing, like, co-host or however I want to do that. But
right.
Oh, yeah. So really just like leaning on the fact and claiming it. I'm a Charlotte talk show host.
Okay. And so let's talk about the most recent blessing.
Oh,
tell the people, girl.
So I am also, as of this week, I am an on-court MC for the men's basketball season, all the home games. So my alma mater, UNC Charlotte, they locked me in, and I'm just so grateful. Shout out to Ali Ewig and all the people who had a hand in that. But literally it started with a student tip-off game, and they were like, yeah, let's just see how it goes. And they were like, bring her back. And I was just so grateful because it's like, and then it's sewing back into where all that started for me. So I am on 10.
And so you do hosting locally anyway, all types of events.
Oh, yeah, all kinds of events. And I'm grateful for that, too, because I feel like I'm booked. Like, literally, I looked at my agenda and I see all these, like, different color codes. And, you just see it happening and you're like, you know what? That was worth it. I'm glad I leaped for this because I wouldn't have been able to do all of this if I was still there.
Okay. So what else is next?
What else is next?
Oh, well, I got to ask for the men watching.
Oh, I'm single as a 100 crisp dollar bill.
Okay, well,
sorry.
I didn't finish my question, but never mind.
No, go ahead, go.
I'll ask again.
Okay.
Are you single?
Oh, yes, I am single. You got to act like you don't know what was coming. You got to act like you didn't know what was coming. Oh, yes. Yes. I am very, 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 very single.
And what's it going to take to take you off the market?
Somebody asked me that this morning.
Question.
Yes.
Why?
Why am I single?
Steve wants to know why.
Wait,
what is happening here?
Why am I single? Okay, so I'm just waiting. Wait till we done. Wait till we done here. Just wait till we done. Just wait. No, but I'm just waiting. I'm not about to settle,
girl.
Cause look, I'm the best of the best, so I want the best of the best. Like I come 110, so I want somebody who But yeah, the thing about it is I could pick. It's not like like I could. Sure, sir, come on. But I don't want to do that because it's like it's always an element of is that the best? So that's my why. But yes, I am single.
Okay. And so, any other advice before we get to the last part of the segment where I have asked my favorite questions?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes.
No, I want to actually just a comment. Thank you.
Oh, it's too early for that.
Sorry.
Okay.
y'all. Okay, so y'all gonna learn this about me. I'm a sap. I cry like.
We're
she
not.
knows.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
Okay, so let's move on to let's lighten it up.
Lighten it up.
So this is don't get it. You can't look.
Okay.
So this is Sue.
Don't look. Okay, so I can't look.
So you can't look. I asked the question.
Okay.
You can think about it.
Okay.
And it runs the gamut. Okay. So what is one of your pet peeves?
One of my pet peeves. Okay, it's weird. People walking on my heels. Like, you know,
Wait
people
a
who walk up on you.
Right.
Don't walk up on me.
Right.
No.
Okay. Any others? Do you roll up? Or do you like react? Or you just?
Hey, you too close.
Right.
Too close.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. Buddy. What's another pet peeve? Like some of these drivers. Y'all, the slow driving, I'm not gonna use that reference, but you know, the people who drive slow.
Girl. And how about the people, they see you coming and they jump right out
and
in front of you?
And you jump in front of me.
You're not, and there's like nobody behind me. You
yes.
couldn't wait 3
you
seconds.
could have waited. You could have waited 5 seconds.
Then, like my mama used to say, you jump out and squat. Like, drive.
No, that's
like you in a hurry.
How you going to jump out and then go, I'm so sorry?
I just go past. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Because
I was going to say what I do, but I was like, I'll hold that until the uncut version.
Right. If you could be any animal on the planet, what would you be?
I'd be a cat.
Okay. What kind of? Just a
Actually, I lie. You know what I'll be? This is random.
Okay.
I would be a peacock.
A peacock. They screech and carry on. Oh, you just want to do the part where they shake the.
Yeah.
Where they,
right. And it's like, okay, Ohavia's here. Like, if I could pick an extra animal, that would definitely, like, I'll go in, like, with all the other peacocks and, like, just wait it out. Y'all think it's quiet and then go.
And then, like, do all that. But they're so mean. Peacocks are mean. Did you know that? And then they screech.
Well, the screech part can relate to the mean, not so much.
Yeah, but you know that's the word in the Animal Planet.
Oh,
that they're kind of mean,
they're
but
mean?
that's okay. But you're not gonna be a mean
for the
peacock.
feathers.
Yeah, right. And the shake, the little shimmy that they do. Right. Girl, okay, wait a minute. What is the most useless talent that you have?
Useless talent. What's the most useless talent?
We all have one.
We do. I'm trying to think of a very I could do different accents.
That's actually useful.
It is?
Let's dig deeper. Like
okay.
Just random stuff that you do really well, but it's not going to like.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's useful. I was gonna say sewing. No, dancing. No, that's useful. I can. No, my mom's gonna be disappointed in that one.
Wait a minute, ma'am.
No, it's gonna be something about. Wait, pause. It's gonna be something about like driving and then doing something, but I'll hold off on that.
Okay. I can't let you off the hook that easily.
I'm trying to think of something, a useless talent, but it's interesting about me. Oh my goodness, y'all! I can do origami.
Shut the front door.
Is that useful though?
No, not really. Because who does that? Like nobody does that unless you don't. Right.
I'm gonna head out.
So, so you can make the swan and the little,
like the cute little thingamabobbers.
Okay.
I could also do. What was the one where you had to do it like this?
Everybody can do that.
No. Mine was perfect.
Every time.
What? I'm talking corner to corner.
Okay. Okay.
Color to color. My was on fleek, but my and I could draw flowers, but like my flowers is not regular flowers, Yolanda. It's like Picasso mixed with, you know, your favorite artist, Night. Yeah, no, but I could kill some origami.
I don't have any useless talents. I don't. Actually, yes, I do. I am shockingly good at Michael Jackson Experience Thriller. I have repeatedly. That is not useless. That is not useless. 10,000. I almost sent myself to the hospital one night because I fell out. I left it all on the living room floor. It was awesome. But like I'm really good at that particular song. Now the other ones not so much. But breaking 10,000 on Michael Jackson Experience is a big honking deal.
You know what? Like on a game system.
Like, yeah, girl, you haven't ever played that.
Oh,
on the Wii. Yeah, girl, it's serious. It's serious.
Almost broke 10,000.
I have broken 10,000 repeatedly. It almost cost me like a left lung, but it was awesome. Like, it was awesome. It is awesome. So I just don't even bust it out at game night anymore.
I thought you was talking about like if somebody. The reason why I said I thought it was useful was because like if somebody came at you in a dance battle, but I didn't know it was off the Wii.
Yeah, it's off the Wii.
Yeah, no, but in
you
the
gotta
dance
have
battle?
the girl. Yeah,
night.
They don't got it. It's going down. It's going down. All right. So, what is the best and worst purchases you have made?
Okay. Best purchase.
Okay.
was my MacBook.
Okay.
I love that thing. You can't, it's literally in my car right now. Okay. I love my MacBook. Worst purchase was, worst purchase was my hair.
You had some bad hair?
Mm-hmm.
How bad was it?
Like it got matted.
Like
you know how it gets matted and you're like, and it's like,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Worst purchase was some hair. Worst purchase was a bag. I didn't need it at the time. Why you bought that bag, oh? Because it's a Louis V. You didn't need that bag, oh. Oh, okay. Okay. And then you don't have gas, but you have a Louis V. Priorities.
Okay. Right.
We gonna move on. I feel I'm getting choked up.
What's the most interesting thing you have seen or read this week?
Interesting thing seen or read. Okay, so I sent my mom this article. It was something random on Facebook. It was about how strong single girls come from strong moms. But that don't. Oh no, let's get into this one. Something this week was T.I. and Tiny. I think I don't know what show they were on, but he was talking about how single girls are like the happiest or something along those lines. And I was like, yes, but like I didn't repost it or anything. I kind of just saved it for my own. But yeah, I think those are my top two.
You think that's true?
I mean, I'm happy. Yolanda, I'm happy. I go where I want. I don't have to answer to nobody. I'm happy. Oh, yeah. Right. I mean, but sometimes I want a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. But
sometimes I want to find a fine something.
Yeah. Well, that's another show. We'll come back to that. All right. What quote or saying, I love this. I came up with this one like literally right before we got here. What quote or saying do people like to say that is complete bullshit?
Okay. A quote that the people like to say, but it's complete bullshit. Oh, sleep on it. As if sleep is like the medicine to the problem when I wake up. Right. So I have slept on so many things, and when I wake up, I still want to fight. Right. No, stop telling us that. Stop telling us sleep on it. Let's do it. What's another one? What's another one?
My favorite one?
What?
Laugh and the whole world laughs with you. That's a damn lie.
You sure?
No, but that is not true. Like if you the whole world is not going to laugh with you. They're not. No,
he's
they're
laughing.
Not. They're
Steven's
not. But they're not. They're not. They're not. Ha ha ha. It just never. Are
y'all putting emojis there?
Oh. No, there's no.
They're not laughing at me either.
It's not laughing. It's complete bullshit. The whole world does not laugh with you. They don't. I'm sorry.
You sure?
I'm positive. And last question. If you could, everybody gets this question. Okay. If you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay. It'll be Little Kim, Put Your Lighters Up. Little Kim, Lighters Up.
Which means, wait, stop. Sorry. You know what we have not done?
What?
We did not have a dance break.
We do dance breaks?
We did not have a dance break. We didn't have a dance break because when life is serious, you got to stop and dance and you got to get it out your system and then whatever it means. Yes, because we started doing this.
Yeah.
We did this a couple weeks ago. We had to have a dance break. So I highly recommend a dance break. Just doesn't matter if you're at your desk, get it popping and you just had the music in your head and just write. We have not had, okay, I'm sorry. We were late on the dance break. We should have had that a long time ago. Okay, wait, bring it on down. Okay, okay.
My knees.
Put your lighters up. That's your jam.
Yes. Honestly, any Little Kim song, but I don't know why. Like, I listen to, Put Your Lighters Up. Or Jay-Z's Encore.
That's
okay, I lied. Let's just do Jay-Z's Encore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Ohavia Phillips. Yes. Thank you for joining us tonight on The Conversation.
This is awesome.
So tell us where we can find you on social media.
Yes, beautiful people. So all things at Ohavia Phillips on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all the extra stuff. I really just keep it Ohavia Phillips. And also on Instagram at The O Show Live.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Facebook, are you maxed out on friends?
No, we have a few spots left.
Okay.
Amen.
Get in where you fit in. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Quickly.
So Facebook still has some availability,
Yes.
or I'm assuming you're going to probably start a new page.
Eventually, we're getting
Eventually
there. It's
gonna
happening
get there.
fast. Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes.
Is there a YouTube channel?
Yes. So the YouTube channel is, www.youtube.com
Okay,
The O Show.
just look for the O Show.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. What about merch?
Merch. Oh my gosh. Yes. So just honestly how I've been doing it, because I'm working on my website, is literally people are DMing me like, I want that shirt. And I just, okay. And then they cash at me and then I just mail it.
Okay. So then that's the hashtag amazing.
Yep.
that we've
Hashtag
seen.
amazing.
Okay. And then any other merch right now?
No, but 2020,
It's going down.
it's going down.
So thank you again for joining us. I'm real excited about
Yes.
our next show, which is going to be live here December 3rd, and it features Dr. Renee, she changed my life.
Wow.
Health-wise, like legit changed my life. And so we're going to be talking about a bunch of health nuggets.
Yes.
Does an apple a day really work? Where does that come from?
Yeah.
And health as it relates to us
Yeah.
as African Americans.
Yeah.
What I love about her is that she gives us these nuggets of information
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah.
Little things that you can do to help increase your health, increase your immunity, things of that nature. She's just fantastic. So she
Yeah.
will be our guest on the next show. If you have not done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the Square Media Network page. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, make sure you like the Conversation with Yolanda Trotman Facebook page, and of course follow us at the Conversation_Pod Show. Definitely support all of the other shows here at Square Media: Unapologetically Black, the Deluxe Pod Show, of course The Slant, The Situation, Frankly Speaking, and of course Craft It, which is coming up this week, right? Tomorrow night. Definitely tune in for Craft It. So thank you all for tuning in. Remember, when you decide to take that leap, there's going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs, all of that, but you must make sure that you follow through. If it doesn't scare you, it's probably not the right leap, but once you take that leap, make sure that you keep pushing forward, because there's a plan, there's a destiny for you, and you have to make sure that you make it happen. Good night, everyone.